zero waste isn't anything new. Actually, we've been, the oldest jean or the oldest trouser that's actually been found is a zero waste garment. So it's something that everyone's been doing, for like millennia. It's something, fabrics were so expensive to make, so labor intensive, let's say so labor intensive to like make. It was crazy for people to lose things or to cut things away or have wastage. So here's some evidence of some examples of amazing zero waste garments sort of like through the ages, everything from kimonos to, even like sort of like Danish and like sort of like European garments, shirts. I mean, even this amazing garment from, this whole jumpsuit, which is a completely zero waste like garment. So it's nothing new at all. And it's something that, all designers and all companies should be looking into, because it's crazy that 20 to 30% of fabric, even 40% of, especially if you're using checks and stripes, when you start doing that kind of work, you waste so much fabric. So I was very honored to look at this with deep eyes, and excited to do a zero waste like collection. Okay, let's talk about the patterns now. So we managed to design quite a few styles for this like collection, and each time I had to radically really think like differently how I actually did it. So here's an example of the chore, or the actual chore jacket. And if you notice, there's only small amounts of wastage where I've highlighted it in like yellow. And I think with even more like refinement, and if I had another 6 months or so to like develop this collection, I could probably eliminate all of the waste. But it's a really nice exercise to see that even the sleeve, I managed to fit everything in, and I've still kept the shape of the sleeve by putting darts in, which is quite interesting way of actually working. And even the pockets and everything else, we cut them as squares, but we can actually fold things away to still have a chore jacket appearance. So it's actually quite nice. So this is the chore jacket first, which is cool. And then this is this style I'm extremely proud of. This is actually one of the first pants that I did. So this is actually using one of the actual salvage like qualities. And what I did was I managed to fit both the front and the back leg onto the pattern. But what I did is I did something that you shouldn't really do, is I've used the reverse. So I've used the front of the leg on the left side and the back of the leg on the right side to make it fit, which is quite strange. And then what I've done is, where there's the coin pocket, actually, I've put the scoop pocket where the coin pocket is. And I know that this piece is just one leg. So when you mirror the pattern over, you get the coin pocket from where the pattern is, which is quite clever. So I managed to fit the coin pocket onto where the scoop is. And then to give it more shaping, because obviously this garment will end up being quite boxy, I've put darts in on the waist, and I put darts in near the hem, just to give it a slightly more tapered appearance. And I managed to fit in the pocket bag and the pockets, even the belt loops, and even the one-piece fly onto this one sheet, which is unbelievable. And the only bit of waste that you can see, again, is the bit that's highlighted in yellow. And again, if I had a bit more time, maybe a couple months of just pure like development, I could probably get rid of that yellow and it'd be completely zero waste. And then also what I did for the waistbands, we got 3 strips, and they from end to end, and the waistband is quite cool. There's no wastage on that also. So this is just one leg, and I just have to repeat it, and I've got a full jean. So very, very excited to do this pattern, and one of my first attempts, which I was quite excited about. And this is a longer piece now. So this is actually the trucker jacket. This was also done in selvage, and obviously working in selvage, I think, is slightly more easier, only because you can you've got a nice selvage edge, so you can put lots of things against it. The inside of the cuff, any kind of feld or facing, you can put right up against it. So what I did here is, it's hard to see, but what I did is I basically fitted the entire jacket on this one sheet of paper. And again, the only bits that I couldn't manage to fit in are the bits that are in like yellow. So it's a tiny amount, no bigger than an A4 sheet. So I'm really proud of it. It just meant that I had to do the sleeves so they're a bit more boxier, which is fine. Some of the sleeves have got selvage like details at either side. So on the style, you get selvage going down the sleeve. And I'm one of these people that is not too keen to show off selvage. I think selvage should be hidden. But for this style, we managed to show it off in a really unique way. And from the collection that you're seeing, the pictures of the collection, you'll see that it's not that obvious that there's selvage everywhere. But not at all. I'm very excited about this collection, and we even put darts in really unusual places, especially where the yoke is, and even on the front part of the yoke, we put a dart in as well. So just to give it a slightly more shaping, which is awesome. This one's actually using the wide width sort of fabric, And what we did is we managed to fit the entire pattern across one length. So I think only about a meter or so, or meter 0.2 has been used. And there is slight bit of wastage on this style. But what I actually did was, after I completed this style, I added in a cinch buckle. So the slight bit of yellow that was left over, we managed to make a cinch buckle from that. So in the end, there wasn't much wastage at all on this entire style. So again, extremely proud to have done this style as well. So really, really cool.
So for the logo for Nothing Goes to Waste, I really wanted to design it in such a way that was really collaborative. So it felt collaborative, it felt like we were doing this together. It was a CONE ENDRIME JEANOLOGIA project. And I guess it just naturally became a circle. And I think it's interesting because I think it evokes that simple connection to circularity itself. But also I kind of always saw it as something that's moving and something that's collaborative and something that's energetic and almost like a globe or like a world of its own, even though it's just a bit of type in a circle. But for me, like, that's what this logo represents.
The whole design process took place during the pattern making, and so you probably would not have designed it if you put it on paper to have the selvage on the outside.
I honestly was very unhappy that the selvage was showing. I was actually physically upset, and I was like, I have to figure out a way to jigsaw this puzzle a bit differently so it's hidden in the inside. I managed to hide the selvage on the center back on the chore jacket, but on the other bits I was like, and I didn't want to hide it away that it was hidden inside a seam, because that would have been upsetting as well. I said it has to be at least showing somewhere. So I had to compromise, and what I did is I did a really clever sewing technique where I had half of it showing and the other half I covered most of it away. So it was like a little sliver of a selvage.
The most important thing about this collection, and MOHSIN and what he's done, is going to be able to show the industry that you can actually create a zero waste design. From a fabric perspective, the range of these fabrics promote a circular economy in one type of ingredient that we've addressed in the construction, the fiber, the dye, the finish. And the important thing is that it is attainable for the industry. So we want to create fabrics that have a tiered approach to the circular economy and sustainability. Economics are also something to be considered, and we understand that. So that is, if we can't create something attainable, we really can't move the industry forward in being able to create something that is zero waste and that type of thing. So I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out